Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another update today in regards to free agency as we move along from the trade period. We're going to talk about Adam Tomlinson to get things going, and Tomlinson has officially been delisted by the D's. He's 31 years old and does have rival interests, so I don't know how simple it's going to be, but with the recent learnings of Kruger being delisted, the idea of Kruger replacing Murphy is no longer a dream of mine. And I think the Collingwood faithful are probably 60-40, maybe 70-30 in favour of that decision. So that was interesting to see. I don't want you guys to agree with everything I say. I want to hear your opinion. So I love that and appreciate that. But with that delisting for Kruger and Joshua Eyre, who's 6'6", it does open a door for further needs to get someone like Nathan Kruger, I can't get him out of my head, Adam Tomlinson to the club. However, there is interest from St Kilda, and St Kilda obviously lost Josh Battle, so they're probably going to want someone who can come in and do a job. And then Gold Coast as well, which is interesting. They've got Collins, Ballard, Will Powell, and then Mac Andrew, who I think Gold Coast want to move into like a ruck / maybe forward line sort of idea, and Tomlinson can be that stopgap for them there. So it's not going to be easy pickings, but I imagine he'd want to come to the biggest club out of those three, and that is Collingwood. He played 45 of his 185 AFL games for the D's since crossing from the Giants at the end of the 2019 season. He did play a bit of wing in his career, so he's actually a decent ball user for a key-sized player. I mean, I say he's key-sized. How tall is Tomlinson, guys? He's a big fella, we know that. He's a brick shithouse. He is 194, which is 6'4", and he's listed at 96 kg. So similar height to Murphy in that regard. And yeah, I mean, let's see if we can get that one over the line. He's definitely much needed. His stats aren't super exciting or anything to write home about. This year, the most amount of intercept marks he had was 3 and then 2. He had 24 disposals in one of those games. So like I said, he is trusted with the ball to a certain degree for a key size type of player. And the worrying sign is what do you do? He hasn't played a full season since 2018. So he's probably averaged 8-9 games a year since moving to Melbourne when he came along from GWS. So look, we know history suggests that these older players who, I mean, I can just give you examples like Jordan Ruffhead from the Doggies, Lyndon Dunn, they probably most closely resemble the scenario that Tomlinson is going to be in. And those players performed well overs when they came and wore the black and white. It must be one of those things. You wear black and white and you improve your game by 20%. And that's what we're going to need from Tomlinson if he's going to be a mainstay in the team in 2025. And we need that to happen. So along with that, other news, Tim Membrey completed his medical. So we're looking to get him over the line. It looks very likely by the sounds of things. And we also have Lockie Sullivan extending a contract by 1 year. He's 27. They opted for him over Bytel. They clearly see Sullivan as this, I guess, born and bred contested ball in the midfield. He averages 45% of his touches are contested, so he does have that contested ball makeup / profile, and looking to much closely resemble the performances that Tom Mitchell puts in, and we don't know what Tom Mitchell is going to be able to output for us next year, given that foot injury that's kept him out of the lineup. Sullivan, however, has an extra string to his bow, and that is the fact that he can play forward as a small forward. He only averaged 30% of his time in the midfield last year, so he needs to be able to perform in that forward position when needed. And what else? His best game, off the top of my head, was Fremantle. He had 25 odd touches. It was that game, it was at Brett Montgomery, the umpire, where Lockie Sullivan gave the ball to Dacos, and then Freo went on this crazy run that was initiated by the shocking umpire call. I do remember that fondly and wish I could brainwash myself from that and erase it. Never mind. What else have we got? List spots. So after the 3 delistings, we're sitting at 39 spots on our list. and we need to make 3 list changes each year according to AFL. So we don't need to draft 3 players, we just need to make 3 list changes. And I'm not too sure what that entails as far as does 3 list changes mean you just need to make 3 ins or outs? Because if that's the case, we've already done 3 delistings, so that would tick that box. But if that means you need to replace one player for another, which I think would be more the case, we've delisted 3 players. We've brought in Perryman and Houston. Membrey looks like a shoe-in. Tomlinson's a chance. Jack Hayes is a chance. So say we get those 3 players in, those 3 potentially delisted free agents, that will take us to 42. And then we have 3 draft picks left. And I reckon what will happen is we will use maybe one of those 3 picks in the 50s. We can't swap them with teams. They're essentially redundant because they're only usually saved for matching academy bids or father-sons. And those teams who are looking to do that this year already have their ducks in a row. Gold Coast with Lombard, Essendon with Keiko, and then we know Brisbane have Ashcroft and is it Daniel Annable? So they've already got their picks in order. So I don't know if those picks in the 50s hold much value. So maybe we save a spot or 2 for the preseason supplementary period. We tend to do okay there. We brought Markov in last year, and then we brought in Bytel, Sullivan, Air, and 2 of those 3 players had some sort of impact at the club, and Sullivan's still on the list. So that's what I think we'll do. We'll save picks or save a spot for the preseason supplementary period and essentially just go from there. I think we're all systems go at Collingwood, and we know what we want. We've made it clear. We're trying to win now. More so when you delist a younger Kruger, it still kills me, I'm sorry. But we delist a younger Kruger, we're going to bring in Tomlinson, who's 31, Membrey, who's 31, Hayes, who's 28, going 29 next year, and he's also injury prone. So look, who knows? Who knows? But like I said, time and time again, I trust list management, I trust the coaches, and that trade window, it was A++ return in my opinion, and I'm excited to see what we can do next year. Go Pies.